A plus certification Core 2. This is lesson 19, topic 19C, explaining data handling best practices. I am your instructor, Seolito Rodriguez. Regulated data classification. The CompTIA A plus exam doesn't heavily focus on regulated data classification, but understanding some key points can be essential. Here's a breakdown of the relevant topics. Regulated data types. Data is subject to regulations depending on its sensitivity and the potential harm that, if compromised, rather. Common regulated data types include personally identifiable information, PII. This includes data that can be used to identify a specific person, such as name, address, social security number, phone number, and email address. Personal government-issued information, information tied to government IDs like driver's licenses, passport numbers, or tax identification numbers. Healthcare data, medical records, insurance information, and any data revealing a person's health condition. Credit card transactions, card numbers, expiration dates, and security codes. So what are some of the data handling best practices? 1. Implement access controls, meaning that only authorized personnel should access sensitive data. 2. Encryption. Encrypt data at rest and in transit to protect it from unauthorized access. 3. Regular backups. Ensure data recovery in case of incidents. 4. Data minimization. Collect and store only the data necessary for business purposes. 5. Employee training. Training employees on data security policies and procedures is essential. When it comes to data retention requirements, organizations must comply with regulations regarding how long they retain specific data types. Retention periods vary depending on data and the regulation. For example, healthcare providers might need to retain medical records for several years. Prohibited content and licensing issues. Here's a breakdown of why monitoring software and digital rights management, or DRM, licenses is crucial, along with the dangers posed by shadow IT. Importance. Organizations use various software programs and digital content. Software licenses often dictate how many devices can use the software and for what purposes. DRM, or Digital Rights Management, restricts unauthorized access and use of copyrighted digital content like movies or music. Failure to monitor compliance can lead to 1. Legal repercussions, copyright infringement lawsuits, for example, from software vendors or rights holders. 2. Security risks. Unlicensed software might be outdated or lack critical security patches. Now, monitor ensures 1. Optimal software usage within license agreements, and 2. Reduced risk of legal issues and security vulnerabilities. Digital rights management, or DRM. DRM encrypts or restricts access to digital content, controlling how it's used, copied, or distributed. Monitoring DRM compliance helps prevent unauthorized access and distribution of copyrighted material. Shadow IT and its risks. Shadow IT refers to IT systems and applications used within an organization without formal IT department approval or knowledge. Employees might use personal devices, cloud storage services, or unauthorized software for work purposes. What are some of the risks of shadow IT? 1. Security risks. Shadow IT often bypasses security protocols, increasing vulnerability to malware, data breaches, and unauthorized access. 2. Compliance issues. Unauthorized software or cloud services might not comply with regulations regarding data storage or security. And 3, licensing costs. Unmonitored software usage can lead to unknowingly exceeding licensing agreements, resulting in additional costs. So the importance of monitoring software installations and user activity helps identify shadow IT and mitigate its risks. Organization can implement 1. Software asset management tools, SAM, they're called, which basically tracks software licenses and installations. 2. Centralized cloud services, which provides secure alternatives to shadow cloud storage regulations. And 3. Clear IT policies, educating employees about approved software and procedures. By effectively monitoring software and DRM compliance, organizations can minimize legal risks, ensure security, and maintain control over their IT infrastructure. Incident response. A well-defined incident response process is crucial for effectively handling security breaches and minimizing damage. Here's a breakdown of the key aspects. Incident response process is a structured approach to detecting, containing, eradicating, and recovering from a security incident. Common phases include 1. Preparation, establishing policies, procedures, and a response team. 2. Identification and detection, identify the incident through logs, alerts, or user reports. 3. Containment, isolating the affected systems to prevent further damage. 4. Eradication, removing the threat actor or malicious software. 5. Recovery, restoring the systems and data to a functional state. And 6. Post-incident review, analyzing the incident to identify root causes and improve future responses. Notification and escalation. This is the timely notification, which is critical to minimize damage and facilitate investigation. The notification and escalation route should be predefined based on the severity of the incident. And this may involve 1. Initial notification, where IT security team or designated point of contact is alerted. 2. Internal escalation. Depending on severity, notification might escalate to management, the legal counsel, or data protection officer. And 3. External notification. In serious breaches, authorities or affected individuals might need notification based on legal requirements. Gathering forensically sound digital evidence. Preserving evidence is crucial for investigation and potential legal proceedings. Requirements for Forensically sound evidence collection include: one, chain of custody, which is maintaining a documented record of who handled the evidence and when, ensuring its authenticity. Two, read-only access. Only authorized personnel should access evidence with read-only permissions to avoid alerting it, actually altering it, changing the evidence. Three, non-modification. Use forensic tools to create copies of evidence, leaving the originals untouched. And four, documentation. Thoroughly document the collection process, including date, time, tools used, and any deviation from protocol. And some additional considerations: incident response plans should be regularly tested and updated. Training for the incident response team is essential for effective implementation. By following a structured process, having clear escalation routes, and adhering to forensics best practices, organizations can effectively respond to security incidents, minimize damage, and facilitate investigations. Data integrity and preservation. Data integrity and preservation are fundamental principles in digital forensics. They ensure that collected evidence is reliable, authentic, and admissible in court. Here's a breakdown of key concepts. Nature of digital forensic evidence. Unlike physical evidence, digital evidence is volatile and easily altered. Files can be deleted, overwritten, or modified, making it crucial to collect and preserve data in a forensically sound manner. Documentation of incidents and data recovery. Meticulous documentation is essential throughout the process. This includes: one, the nature of the incident, reported issued, suspicious activity, etc. Two, date and time of the investigation. Three, tools and techniques used for data collection and analysis. And four, chain of custody documentation. In other words, who handled the evidence and when. Securing the scene and identifying a scope. Some of the key points are: one, identify the scope. Define the systems or devices potentially involved in the incident. Two, record the scene. Document the physical environment where the evidence resides, like photos, sketches, etc. Videos. Three, isolate the hosts or devices. Disconnect affected systems from the network and power down if safe to do so. This prevents further data alteration or potential remote access by attackers. Data extraction techniques. One, live forensics. Performed on power-on systems using specialized tools to capture volatile data like RAM content, or running processes, while minimizing risk of altering evidence. Video recording the screen can also capture ongoing activity. Two, write blocking imaging tools, which are used to create a forensic image, that is, an exact copy of storage devices, hard drives, flash drives, etc., without modifying the original data. Write blocking ensures the original evidence remains unaltered. Verifying data integrity. Hashing is a good method. It's a mathematical algorithm that generates a unique fingerprint or hash of the digital data. This hash is calculated to both the original evidence and the created forensic image. Comparing the hashes ensures the image is an accurate copy, unaltered during acquisition. Securing physical evidence, bag and tag. So once collected, physical devices like hard drives should be placed in anti-static bags and labeled with unique identifiers to maintain chain of custody. This helps track the evidence and prevent tampering. And finally, chain of custody, which is a documented record of every individual who handled the evidence along with the date, time, and purpose of handling. This establishes a clear audit trail and ensures the evidence's authenticity in court. By handling, or rather by adhering to these principles, digital forensics professionals can collect and preserve evidence that is reliable, supports investigation, and holds up in legal proceedings. Data destruction methods. Choosing the right data destruction method depends on your goals: secure disposal or repurposing the storage media. And here's a breakdown of common techniques. Repurposing versus disposal. Repurposing is done if you intend to reuse a storage device, hard drive, SSD, USB drive. You need to remove data while maintaining functionality. Disposal, on the other hand, it's when a device reaches its end of life, and secure destruction is crucial to prevent data recovery. Balancing needs. So recoverable remnants. A standard formatting, like using the operating system tools, often leaves data remnants recoverable with data recovery software. This is acceptable for repurposing if you're confident that the data is insensitive. Erasing or wiping overrides the storage media with random data patterns, making it more difficult to recover previous data. This is a good option for repurposing or basic disposal of non-sensitive data. Hard disk drives, HDDs, versus solid state drives, SSDs. HDDs, hard disk drives, are magnetic storage. Overriding within random data is generally effective for wiping. Now, SSDs, like flash memory, overriding might not permanently erase data due to wear leveling techniques. Secure erase methods are recommended for SSDs. Secure erase methods. 1. Low-level formatting overrides the entire storage media with a specific pattern, and it's effective for HDDs but time-consuming. Secure erase, or SE, manufacture a specific utility that securely erases data on hard disk drives, often faster than the low-level formatting. Instant secure erase, ISE, or crypto erase, securely erases data on SSDs by leveraging built-in encryption features, a faster and more reliable option for SSDs compared to wiping. Some additional consideration, even though not included in the A+, but it's important to know There is military-grade sanitation, which overrides with a specific DoD-approved data patterns for maximum data destruction for highly sensitive data. And there's also physical destruction, which is shredding or degaussing or exposing to strong magnetic fields only if it's HDDs for ultimate data destruction. This is for highly sensitive data or media that cannot be securely erased electronically. Now, when choosing the right method, one, consider data sensitivity, the media type, HDD versus SSD, and whether you intend to repurpose the device. Two, for highly sensitive data, prioritize secure erase methods or physical destruction. And three, consult with data security professionals for guidance on selecting the most appropriate method based on your specific needs. Disposal and recycling outsourcing concepts. When data storage devices reach their end of life, secure disposal or recycling is crucial. Here's a breakdown of outsourcing concepts and secure methods that you should know. A specialist destruction machinery. Organizations often lack the specialized equipment for secure data destruction. This includes one, industrial shredders for physical destruction of hard drives, SSDs, and other media. High temperature incinerators for complete destruction of data storage media at high temperatures. And three, degaussing machines exposes storage media to strong magnetic fields, scrambling data on HDDs, not recommended for SSDs. Outsourcing concepts. Partnering with a reputable third-party vendor specializing in secure data destruction and recycling offers several advantages. One, expertise. Vendors have the equipment and expertise for secure data destructions using certified methods. Two, efficiency. Outsourcing saves time and resources compared to in-house destruction. And three, environmental considerations. Vendors often follow environmentally responsible recycling practices. Third-party vendor selection. When choosing a vendor, consider one, certifications. Look for certifications like R2, which is responsible recycling, or stewards that ensure secure data destruction and environmentally responsible practices. And two, insurance. Ensure the vendor carries adequate insurance to recover any potential incidents. And three, security procedures. Understand the data handling and destruction procedures. And four, cost and service. Compare quotes and services offered by different vendors. Certification of destruction and recycling. Reputable vendors provide certificates of destruction which document the destruction process and assure that data has been securely wiped or physically destroyed. DIY destruction method. You gotta use this with caution. While not ideal, some DIY methods exist for low sensitivity data on non-critical devices. For example, a standard formatting. So remember that this might leave recoverable data remnants. Overwriting with random data. This offers some protection but might not be foolproof. And drilling and hammering physically destroys the media but can be hazardous and time consuming. Important note, DIY methods are generally not recommended for sensitive data or critical devices. Always prioritize secure methods for such scenarios. By understanding outsourcing concepts, secure destruction methods, and the importance of certifications, you can ensure that your data is disposed of responsibly and securely, minimizing environmental impact and protecting sensitive information. In summary, here we cover data handling best practices. We discussed regulated data classification. We talked about the personal information, PII, health information, the financial information, etc. We also discussed prohibited content and licensing issues, and why it is important that we do not overuse licensing. A company can be fined because of that. We also talked about the incident response process and the different steps that are taken to, first of all, we should prepare to make sure that we don't have an incident, but in the case that we do have an incident, we should be ready to contain and eradicate the incident as soon as possible and go back to normal operation. We also talked about data integrity and preservation, especially if data is going to go to court. It's important to make sure that we make a hash of the original. We should create an image. If a hard drive needs to be preserved, we create an image of that hard drive, and then we create a fingerprint or a hash of that image. And then later we can compare those images and to see if the information was modified or altered. We talked about data destruction methods. It's important to understand that destroying hard disk drives is different than SSD drives. And we talked about the different methods of doing that. And finally, we discussed disposal and recycling outsourcing concepts, when many times companies have to outsource these tasks because they don't have the machinery, the equipment, nor the personnel with the expertise to perform this task efficiently.